1983, a base was established for the Link Study Group, a group formed under the Scottish Committee of the Shaftesbury Project at 10B Victoria Place, Stirling. Located in the square, Victoria Place is part of the square. It was very conveniently situated for the purpose of communicating really north, south, east and west. Victoria Square is in the shadow of Stirling Castle. Down from the castle we come to the Church of the Holyrood, historically one of the most important churches in the United Kingdom. As an infant of 18 months, James VI of Scotland and 1st of England was crowned as James VI of Scotland. Church of the Holyrood we come to what is today a youth hostel, and in front of it we have the facade of the Erskine Church. A minister disagreed very strongly with patronage and other doctrinal issues taught by the Church of Scotland, and he broke away to form the Erskine Church, Ralph and Ebenezer Erskine. Union of the crowns and the union of the parliaments. Many fierce battles took place between Scottish and English troops, and here we are close to the site of the Battle of Stirling Bridge, and the modern footbridge replaces a wooden bridge which was the bridge associated with the Battle of Stirling Bridge. The River Forth meanders past Stirling in huge serpentine loops. And there was a time when sailing ships were able to sail right up to Stirling, which meant that it had an important trading connection with continental ports. But that has long vanished, and the Forth is no longer dredged beyond a bridge at Kincardine. In 1996, the Link Study Group was reformed as a study unit, became the Link Study Unit. And from an early stage in the formation of the trust, there was an association with the University of Stirling. While remaining an independent trust, the university nevertheless generously allowed the study unit pages on its website, which has been a major asset to the work of the trust from that time until the present day. A relatively new university, it has concentrated considerably on subjects which have an economic benefit. There is most definitely a commercial aspect to the curriculum of which the university has adhered to until the present time. It defends its right to exist on the basis of a royal charter, so that the departure of James VI of Scotland meant that many of the schemes which had been planned for Stirling were in fact never implemented. But with the construction of the modern university at Stirling, then that original intention was fulfilled. An estate on the outskirts of Stirling, between Stirling and Bridge of Allen, the Airtree estate, with a very fine house, provided a location for the university which is envied by many universities around the world. Situated around the Airtree Loch, the countryside all around is quite outstanding. Everything is provided for students on the campus. It is a self-contained campus, which means that it has not really engaged with the city of Stirling itself as much as would have happened otherwise, or as much as happens in other university towns and cities. As a brand new 20th century university, Stirling University was something of a newcomer, and it had to find its place amidst the presence of long-established universities, the universities of St Andrews, Aberdeen, Edinburgh and Glasgow, as well as a host of other new universities and colleges. Some of the colleges have more recently been awarded university status. The policy of favouring commercial subjects was then an economic necessity. Stirling University survived an initial period of economic difficulty, and finally, through following this formula, it has succeeded to find its feet. Another policy which made the university more financially viable was a policy of opening many of the facilities to the public, and that involved the inclusion of a major theatre cinema complex. This new facility was called the MacRobert Centre, and it is now one of the main centres for the arts in the Stirling area at the present time. On the commercial side, the university constructed a fine conference centre which attracts many conferences, mostly with a business connection. And there's a small industrial estate and a small estate of offices serving businesses of various sizes. Some would say that the university has a somewhat secular character. It does have a chaplaincy centre and a team of chaplains, but there is not the formal recognition given to the Christian faith that we might find in the older universities with their chapels, which are really central to the life of the university. It has no theology department as such. There is a small religious studies department, and there is a philosophy department. But again, these really are fledgling institutions. It is a young university, and it's going to be some time before these departments have an opportunity to really establish their reputations. The study unit's web pages are still hosted by the university. We do maintain a connection of some kind with Religious Studies Department, and we seek to cooperate with that department as much as possible, attending conferences and the like when we receive an invitation. The door is open, but so far contact with the university has not gone beyond that stage, and it is hoped that in the future closer contact of some kind might be possible. The Trust has no real wish to surrender its status as an independent study unit with clearly defined objectives. It is committed to teaching and research in the areas of theology and philosophy. It would be very much against any arrangement which would undermine its independence to pursue these studies on the basis of its own constitution. But that does not mean that it is not sympathetic to the interests of Stirling University and the city of Stirling as a whole. As a new university built on a sizable estate, it has been possible to provide really first-class facilities for sport and outdoor activities. As well as offering first-class facilities for students, the sporting facilities have attracted the patronage of professional bodies such as football clubs, and very often national teams as well come to Stirling to put in a final bit of practice. The King's Knot project was a response by evangelicals to a situation in the mid-20th century in which the dimension of social involvement had to a considerable extent been lost sight of. The International Evangelical Congress held at Lausanne, Switzerland, gave this new outlook a very considerable impetus. And so